What's going on, guys? This is Coach Fear here again with another video for you today. And right now I'm still working on my relocation franchise, fantasy franchise, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm just going to call it the relocation franchise. But just going to work on it today and do some of the pregame stuff, and then I'm going to start one of the preseason games in the next video. But also want to just talk about some regular football games, or football news that's kind of going on right now in the world today. I think, but right now, as far as preparation goes, gotta take a lot of the starters and switch them around. Don't want any starters really getting hurt. We're going to take a lot of those guys out and kind of work on some of the other guys. That way, we don't have to worry about guys getting hurt. And we can just focus on developing guys the way we need to, and then we'll want to see if some of these guys kind of get more developed if they get more playing time too. So we had a lot of young guys in that we drafted on both teams, but we're just gonna get ready and get everything prepared here. But right now it's Thursday, November 29th, and starting tomorrow is the conference championships for college football. And college football this year was it was okay. Wasn't perfect. Not a lot of good things really happened, but it wasn't a bad year. Alabama's top team right now looks like they're gonna have a easy walk into the college football playoff, and probably have a decent game this weekend against Georgia. And I'm pretty much gonna pick Bama for that one. I think Bama will be able to handle Georgia, but starting tomorrow, we got Northern Illinois and Buffalo for the MAC championship. I haven't really heard much about Buffalo, but Buffalo's got 10 wins this season. 10 wins. I can't really remember of a time that Buffalo was ever that good, but yeah, they got 10 wins. I mean, that's really good. I hope that hope the Buffalo wins that game. That'll be cool. Then also the Pac-12 championships tomorrow. Utah and Washington. It's kind of weird how that all played out, because it looked like Washington State was going to be the team to make it in there, and at the beginning of the season looked like Oregon was going to be the team to beat, but Oregon ended up I think they ended up losing like 5 games. So Oregon really took a dive there towards the end, and right now it's Washington and Washington State, and they're both 9-3. So I don't know really anything about Utah, and I'm just gonna pick Washington. I've seen them play a little bit, and Washington's okay. But that's who I'll pick for that game. Then there's a couple games also tomorrow that are kind of like they're makeup games, and they're basically from the hurricane that happened at the beginning of the the football season. I think it was like third week of the football season. There was a hurricane that hit the Carolinas, and pretty much all the games in South Carolina and North Carolina were canceled that week. And there were some teams that were able to reschedule games, and some teams just had to cancel the game altogether, and they couldn't reschedule because the schedules just they couldn't fit games in. They couldn't they didn't have any openings to reschedule and play the original scheduled game. So what ended up happening was they got they've had some of the teams pick different opponents, and if I think for the schools that if it doesn't really matter if they get a bowl game or not, they didn't get in. But like a team like Virginia Tech, right now they're sitting at 5-6, so they're sitting at 11 games. They're playing Marshall on Saturday, and if Virginia Tech wins, they are bowl eligible and they can get into a bowl game. If they lose, they're not. That's why they're playing Marshall on Saturday. So Marshall will be traveling to Blacksburg, and I'm actually a Marshall fan myself, and I've gone to 3 games this year. I saw them play NC State at Huntington, and it was a pretty good game. Marshall was able to, they were competitive, but really they were just overmatched with NC State. And NC State they're not a bad team. So I'm gonna say that Marshall's defense will show up in that game, and I could see Virginia Tech winning, but Virginia Tech's only a 3-point favorite, so I'll pick Marshall in that game. And then we got the Big Ten Championship, and I'm actually going to be in Indianapolis this weekend, so I would love to go, but I'm going to try to go. If I can't, I won't, but I'll try to see if I can go to that game, because I am an Ohio State fan too. But I'm going to pick Ohio State over Northwestern. I think it's going to be a close game, because Northwestern, they're one of those teams where, they're okay, but you can't sleep on them, really. They're pretty good. So they're 9-4, or 8-4. My bad, 8-4. I think Ohio State is going to win, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think they're going to give them a good fight. So then next we got the big rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma. I'm not sure if Texas and Oklahoma played this year. I'm pretty sure they did, and Oklahoma won. But Tom Herman's done pretty good at Texas, and Oklahoma's defense is not good. Which neither is Ohio State's defense, but and ESPN was kind of comparing that today. Whose offense is better, Ohio State or Oklahoma? And it was, a lot of the experts said Oklahoma's defense is probably worse than Ohio State's. Which Ohio State's defense was good up until they lost Nick Bosa, and I think they lost a couple other guys. But I just have a feeling that Texas is going to beat Oklahoma in this one. And I'm kind of as an Ohio State fan, I'm kind of hoping that's what happens. But I'm just going to kind of play it safe and say that I'm gonna say that Texas will win this one. Next game is the Sun Belt Championship, Louisiana and Appalachian State. I haven't seen any of those teams play this year. Appalachian State recently has been doing pretty good over the past few years. They look solid. I saw them play in one bowl. I think it was a Sun Belt Championship a couple years ago. and they look pretty good. But I really don't know. I'm gonna just go with Appalachian State since they have the better record. Next up is Iowa State and Drake. I think this is a makeup game too. Don't know anything about Drake. I think that's a FCS team, pretty sure. Iowa State, obviously. Then ECU and NC State. This is a makeup game, obviously. NC State, hands down. They're a much better team. 23-point favorite. I've seen NC State play. They're big. They're physical. They got a good quarterback. NC State. Then South Carolina and Akron. Again, South Carolina could be bowl eligible. I got South Carolina winning that one because I think they'll be able to handle Akron. Then we got the Conference USA Championship. Funny thing about this game is last week Middle Tennessee went. I think they were at UAB and they played at UAB, and it was a close game, but Middle Tennessee won, and I think Middle Tennessee is going to win again. I've seen Middle Tennessee play, and they're pretty good. They got good offense, could move the ball pretty well, and I think Middle Tennessee is going to win that game. Then we got Liberty and Norfolk State. I don't know about that one. I don't think it's going to really matter. I guess Liberty. I know that they're new to the. Yeah, I know that they're new to the FBS, but next up, Stanford and Cal. I don't know why this game is playing, but I'm gonna go Stanford, I guess. They seem to be the better team. And then next up is the American Championship. That one's kind of, that one's a tough one because I saw UCF play last week, and their quarterback looked pretty good, but man, their quarterback got hurt. Very, very bad break. He broke his leg, and the backup that they had, he didn't look too bad. And man, I think I saw Memphis play Houston pretty good, and I'm gonna go with UCF because I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping that they keep the streak alive, and that next year they can kind of get up there in the rankings a little bit. I hope they keep everything going, and that's what I'm hoping happens. But I don't know. Don't know what's gonna happen with it, but they look good. So I'm gonna go UCF, and then Alabama, Georgia. I already picked them. Alabama, and you got the Mountain West Conference Championship. Man, Fresno State and Boise State. It's a tough matchup. If I had to pick, I would say I'm gonna say Boise State on this one. I haven't really seen Boise State, but I think they'll win. And then Clemson and Pittsburgh. Obviously, Clemson. Clemson's behind Alabama. Clemson looks pretty good. I like the way that they look, and Clemson should be right in there. But yeah. So right now I'm just kind of fitting in some of these guys. And I think we're alright. Let's see. Defensive end positions. Alright. But that's pretty much all what I want to talk about today, as far as what's going on with the conference championships after this week. We'll find out who's in the playoff. I'm very interested in what happens with the playoff and who they're going to pick. If everyone wins out, who's the committee going to choose? Are they going to choose Oklahoma? Or are they going to choose Ohio State? I think there's going to be a big argument there. We'll find out. But that's all I have for today. On my next video, I'm going to have preseason games. I'm probably going to start the Monarchs and Cowboys. Well, let's see. Let me look at the schedule real quick and see what's going on here. So, see whoever plays first. Yeah, it is Monarchs and Cowboys. So, we'll play them first, and then next up will be the Celtic Tigers at Steelers, and Buccaneers and Thunderbirds. So yeah, I'll play one, and then we'll do our regular season games. But thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.